Hello, hello. I'm Brian Baldinger. This is the best football show. And as you might be able to tell from my background here, I'm in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida, as I get ready for the All-American Bowl Thursday night on NFL Network. Brian Billick coaching one side, Mike Smith of the Falcons coaching the other side. It's going to be really good. I saw 500 scouts out at practice on Monday and 300 scouts out there today. Good. It's a good time. But this is the best football show. You can find me at Baldy NFL. Broke down all four divisional playoff games this past weekend and a couple kids that you're going to see in this All-American Bowl Thursday night on NFL Network. And you can download this football show by downloading a free Odyssey app, finding the best football show, liking it, subscribing to it, and all that. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and today is Tuesday Takeaways, but there's so much to get to. But we've got to start because the coaching carousel is spinning like I've never seen it spin before. Last week at this time, we had 8 openings. It grew to 10 openings once Saturday night hit, Sunday afternoon hit. It grew to 10 openings. But we've got some coaching vacancies that have been filled. The New York Giants found their man, John Harbaugh, signed with the Giants. Jackson Dart was in the building. He got a chance to meet him, met a lot of the players, met the front office, met Joe Shane, the GM. They're on the same page. They've known John a long time since came with Andy Reid to be the special teams coach in Philly in 1999. Helped him get a job back in 2007, 2008 when he was trying to get either a head college job or a head NFL job. Helped him learn that process, and here he is. After 18 years in one spot, it didn't take long for the Giants to find their guy. So congratulations to John. John do a good job. He coaches hard. He'll have stability. They'll win games. He's already come out and said, we're competing for the playoffs. We're competing for the division championship. So let's see what he can do. There's a lot of talent on that roster. Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, Scattaboo. And there's a lot of talent. Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. There's a lot of talent to work with. They'll do a good job. That's one. Kevin Stefanski is the new coach of the Atlanta Falcons. He's keeping Jeff Ulbrich as his defensive coordinator there. That's good because Kevin concentrates on the offense. Kevin was in Cleveland, had Jim Schwartz for a good chunk of the time. Jim ran the defense. He is the 2-time coach of the year. Whatever you want to say about Kevin Stefanski, you lose 5 offensive tackles. You play rookie quarterbacks, rookie receivers, and rookie running backs, rookie defensive players. You're going to lose a lot of games. But Kevin Stefanski is a very stable guy, been around the game a long time. I've known Kevin. Obviously, his father, Art Stefanski, was a guy that, ran NBA clubs. But I've known Kevin, went to University of Pennsylvania. I knew him when he was coaching tight ends with the Minnesota Vikings with Brad Childress. And he had to make a decision to go into coaching or go into scouting. And he chose coaching, and here he is, the new coach at Atlanta Falcons. So they've got a lot of talent there too. All 4 of those rookies on defense hit. James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, Xavier Watts, all those guys struck and were good players. James Pierce Jr. led all rookies with 10.5 sacks. They've got a lot there to work with. Obviously, Bijan, Drake May, whatever they do at quarterback. Matt Ryan on board as, I guess, head of football operations. Okay. Very similar structure to what Jacksonville put in place with Tony Baselli and, then Liam Cohen and then, the GM that they brought with him. All right. We've got 2 other openings that just got filled just recently. Jeff Hafley. Jeff Hafley is the new coach of the Miami Dolphins. Jeff is coming from the Green Bay Packers. He spent 6 years in the NFL, 3 different spots coaching defensive backs. He was with San Francisco. He was with Tampa. I think he was with Cleveland. He is a Northern Jersey guy. Came to Green Bay 2 years ago. And first year, tied for the league lead in turnovers, takeaways, 33. Didn't have as many last year. His philosophy is very simple. Defensively, we're going to press the receivers, challenge every throw, receivers and quarterback. We're going to force everything to the middle of the field as much as we can, and we're going to rob the middle of the field. Atlanta has Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates will be his Xavier McKinney, who flourished in this system with the Green Bay Packers. Flourished. Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts, they've got their guys that will rule the middle of the field. They've got A.J. Terrell, pressing on the outside. They've got a lot of pieces for that defense to be very, very good and to compete right now in the NFC South. And then Robert Saleh gets a second shot in Arizona. Robert really resurrected. Give Robert a lot of credit. He was fired. What was the record in New York? Did he have a winning record when he got fired? He wasn't far off a winning record. Joe Douglas brought him in. They had their guy. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt doesn't help. All that stuff. But he resurrected his career with what he did in San Francisco with a lot of young kids and getting them to play hard. And they've got pieces in Arizona, like a lot of places. Robert, they need a guy, just a strong leader in Arizona. They got to figure out the quarterback situation. I don't know that the starting quarterback is on the roster right now. The backup played really good, but he's a backup. I don't think Kyler Murray will be there. Not to knock Kyler. I just think they need a new direction at that spot. I think after Robert Saleh watched Brock Purdy prepare with Kyle Shanahan week in, week out. Robert's been in Green Bay as an assistant with Aaron Rodgers. He knows what that leader needs to be at that position on your football team. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But congratulations, Robert. We got 6 jobs that are still open. Baltimore Ravens are open. The Las Vegas Raiders are open. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I hear, I'm not out here trying to play reporter or doing any of that nonsense, but I hear the Steelers are very interested in Mario Cristobal. And I think the coach of the University of Miami, I think Mario Cristobal actually would really translate to the NFL. I watched his practice in the spring. Jason Taylor coaching the defensive line. They got 2 number 1 picks on that defensive line. Mario Cristobal coaching the offensive line. Their right tackle is going to be a first-round pick. There's talent everywhere on that team. But the way that Mario coached that team reminded me of what old-school coaches used to do. They're limited in the NFL, how many times you can put pads on and hit and all that stuff, but they're going to get after it like they did. And I think Mario could actually transfer to the NFL. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills, that's a shock. But it's not a shock. They've been trying to build that thing to a championship. My brother played with the Buffalo Bills, 4-time the bridesmaid. They needed that fan base is rabid. They're supportive. They got a new stadium they're breaking in next year. It's a new era of Buffalo Bills. I think they're tired of marching out great Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and all the guys, marching those guys out into the stadium on a great run with Marv Levy and never have won a championship. And so it's probably not fair, but that's what they feel like. They got Josh Allen at his prime in a few more years, a good offensive line. Aaron Cromer, the offensive line coach, stepped down. That's not going to be easy to overcome. But that job is open along with the Cleveland Browns. And I think that's the 6th. Cleveland is open. So we got a lot of jobs to be filled. Brian Flores is still out there. There's a bunch of coordinators that are being talked about. So we'll see. But if you look at, we're going to get to the divisional championship round. But if you look at teams in the Final Four, Mike Vrabel, first-year head coach with the New England Patriots. Seattle Seahawks, second year with Mike McDaniel. Denver, third year with Sean Payton, right? You look at the Los Angeles Rams, obviously, with Sean McVay. But all the assistants that have left the nest of Sean McVay. He just keeps replacing guys. And so those are your final four. So let's just talk about the games. I mean, Buffalo loses on some questionable calls on this Tuesday's edition of the Takeaways. Questionable calls. Is Jaquan McMillan's interception an interception, or is Brandon Cooks down by contact? I mean, I went back and watched Calvin Johnson's no catch against the Chicago Bears opening weekend of 2010. Like, control the ball through the ground. Calvin was on his butt, feet were on the ground, hands were on the ground, ball was fine, got up, ball came out. Not a catch. Like, that is a precedent. So when Brandon Cooks went to the ground and he came up, Jaquan McMillan had the ball in his hands. I think they got the call right. It's just confusing because was Devontae Adams down when his ball got taken out, right? In his game. Against Chicago, was he really down or did that ball come out? It looked like it was a very similar play. But there's nuances to all this stuff, and there's language. And it gets confusing for fans. It's confusing for me. And I feel like when I was at Fox Sports, and I was announcing games for Fox, we had seminars every year. We had one day, it was nothing but rules. John Madden, pick a guy. All the referees came through. We had days in the seminar. All we did was talk about rules. I went to the rules seminar, the officials seminar in Dallas every year. For 2 days I went, and I sat in all those meetings, umpire meetings, defensive back meetings, wing officials, you name it. I sat in all their breakouts. It's a difficult game to officiate. I'm not here just to defend officials because sometimes they're wrong. I'm not here to defend New York and their officiating committee because we don't even know who makes these decisions. I know in that spot in that game, we needed a thorough look. Just the way, Buffalo fired their coach. Sean McDermott was a hell of a coach. Sean McDermott gets fired maybe because of that call. Maybe. Other things have to happen. But anyways, Denver moves on, and Denver moves on without Bo Nix. And real quickly, I know Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham was the number one ranked quarterback coming out of high school in 2015 or 2016. Art Briles was a coach at Baylor. Art Briles came out of Stephenville High School in Texas. He coached there. Art Briles got Jarrett Stidham to go to Baylor. And I was doing Big 12 games. I did a game with Jarrett Stidham. I think it might have been Jarrett Stidham's first start at Baylor. Art Briles got blown out. Jarrett Stidham transferred. Jarrett Stidham is drafted by the New England Patriots when Tom Brady is there. Josh McDaniels brings him to the Las Vegas Raiders. When Derek Carr gets hurt, Stidham starts the last two games. Played great in 2022 against the number one defense in football, the San Francisco 49ers. Put up 3 touchdown passes that day. Sean Payton saw that game, and he brought him to the Broncos. And when he was sick of Russell Wilson, he started Jarrett Stidham. But he hasn't started in 2 years, hasn't taken a snap. He's got to go in the AFC Championship game. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he'll play like C.J. Stroud played. But it's a lot to ask a guy that hasn't played to play in a championship-level game against the Patriots defense that's really good. It's going to be a challenge. But they're getting J.K. Dobbins back. They're getting Wattenberg, their center, back. That's going to help. They're going to get maybe Troy Franklin back. They're going to get some people back. Maybe they run the ball more. But I trust Sean Payton to not, to go easy with Jarrett Stidham. I don't think he's going to ask him to go win the 40 times. I think he's going to be not careful, but cautious. Let's don't make the guy win the game for us in the first quarter. That's what I'm saying. San Francisco and Seattle, that game, my takeaway. Seattle is who I thought Seattle was. San Francisco played them twice in 3 weeks. They couldn't score a touchdown. McCaffrey couldn't find the end zone. Brock Purdy, they just suffocate you. They are a python, and they just take the air right out of you the way they play. They match up in these matchup zones. They sit on top of these routes. They route read. It's hard to fool them. They have speed everywhere. Tyquan Woolen ran in the 4.2s at UTSA. Devin Witherspoon hits everything. He's a cobra. Julian Love is just that Notre Dame safety that's just smart as hell. Their front is nasty. They do lose Zach Charbonnet, which is a big loss, but you saw what Kenneth Walker did in that game. He ran for 3 touchdowns. They're good. They're good. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Rams, but the Rams got an offense now. Devontae Adams did very little in that game. Puka did very little in that game in Chicago, and they still won. Because they got Stafford. They got Kyron, who was awesome, and they got a great coach. And their secondary, we'll get to it, was shut down. So let's get to, a big game here. When you talk about championship weekend, obviously Denver and New England. But then when the Rams go to Seattle, the Rams can definitely win a game. I mean, week 14, was it 14, 15? It's 30-14 in favor of the Rams in the fourth quarter. And Seattle had that comeback. Obviously, the no fumble on the 3-yard line became a huge play in that game. Rashid Shaheed did what Rashid Shaheed did. He started that game off, divisional round, with a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The guy might be the fastest player in the league now that, Tyreek Hill is injured, semi-retired, whatever. That guy can fly in any role you give it to him. So the Rams have had bad special teams. I wouldn't kick the ball. It's interesting. Seattle starts that game this weekend against San Francisco. Most teams keep 2 kickoff returners deep at the goal line. Not Seattle. They just have one guy back there. They only want one guy to return it, Rashid Shaheed. So you have to make a decision. You kick it out of the end zone, you get the ball to 35, right? You kick it in the landing zone, and you have a chance, you're taking the shot. You kick it out of bounds, it goes to the 40. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't right now. And that's what Shaheed does. He makes you think like that. And the Rams, they fired the special teams coach during the season. They were good against Chicago. They survived Chicago, let's face it. But Kobe Durant, Cam Curl, they couldn't play any better. Probably the 2 best games either one of those guys ever played. 3 interceptions between the 2 of them. Cam Curl, 4th down stops behind the line of scrimmage, one play after another. So that's my takeaway right there. Look, Buffalo loses a couple late pass interference calls, Tre'Davious White, fumble recovery or interception by Jaquan McMillan, you lose the game, fire the coach. That's where we're at in this league right now. It's just that cutthroat. A couple crazy plays at the end of the game, you lose in 9 years. 9 years, Sean McDermott in Buffalo, out there on the street. I don't think he'll be out there long. A lot of people going to bat for him right now. But that's tough. That's tough to deal with, tough to hear. But that's been Tuesday's takeaways, everybody. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll be at All-American practice in the morning. I'll come join you and talk to you about what I hear from a lot of the scouts, some of these players, advance some of the games, and who knows, maybe we have a couple more signings by tomorrow sometime. Thanks for joining me, everybody. The Best Football Show. I'm Brian Baldinger, and I appreciate you joining me here today.